Hello, it is week 6 of The Artist Way, and we're doing the dang thing. I want to check in a little before I start. I'm feeling slightly irritable right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I had a really great weekend. I got outside, got some sunshine, saw my friends, went to the river. Last week felt a lot more flowy, smooth than maybe the few weeks prior have felt. But at this very moment, I am annoyed with myself and life, and I need to go to the gym after this because I just feel like when I get out of the routine of fitness, I do get cranky and irritable, and I don't feel good in my skin. It's not a good feeling, especially going from consistently going to the gym 5 or more times a week to just feeling like I literally don't have time to go. Before I was going like in the afternoon at like 11 to 1 p.m. and it was the best time to go because it wasn't super busy. I feel like I have my space, the machines are open, blah, blah, blah. And now my kind of options are like early morning or late night. And neither of those sound appealing. But I'm going to go tonight because if I don't, there's going to be problems. Okay, let's dive into the book. And I'm sorry if I'm grumpy. That's just how it is sometimes. And honestly, I'm not sorry because that's life. Okay. Recovering a sense of abundance was the topic of week 6. Basically, it's about money. And I wrote, God wants you to be abundant. It's also an unlimited source. Therefore, the amount of money that you can make or receive is also unlimited. Such a wonderful, beautiful, amazing thing, isn't it? Kind of just talks about like sometimes people feel like asking for more isn't like something that the universe would want for you, but that's not true necessarily because you deserve to feel stable and supported, and you also deserve to not have to worry about money. It says, this week you will tackle a major creative block, money. You're asked to really look at your own ideas around God, money, and creative abundance. These essays will explore the ways in which your attitudes limit abundance and luxury in your current life. You will be introduced to counting, a block-bursting tool for clarity and right use of funds. This week may feel volatile. And I do feel like I have been doing decently all right and definitely improving in this department. I think where I'm struggling right now is feeling like I don't have an abundance of time, which is something that I do want to work on and be mindful of because A, there's only so many hours in a day, and if you can't get everything done, you can always do it tomorrow. And B, there's also a lot of hours in the day. You can get a lot done in a day. Just saying. Let's see. It asks, what would a non-toxic God think of your creative goals? Hi, Beans. Also says, sometimes we secretly think that God wants us to be broke if we're going to be so decadent as to want to be artists, but do we have any proof at all about these ideas? It says, looking at God's creation, it is pretty clear that the Creator itself did not know when to stop. There's not one pink flower or even 50 pink flowers, but hundreds. Snowflakes, of course, are the ultimate exercise in sheer creative glee. No two alike. This Creator looks suspiciously like someone who just might send us support for our creative ventures. Expect divine help and then expect to receive it. Also says creativity is not logical, it's quite the opposite. And so if creativity is not logical, why should you be logical? One of the quotes here is, "Money is symbolically a golden flowing stream of concretized vital energy." And I wrote in quotes, "What we really want to do is what we're really meant to do." When we do what we're meant to do, money comes to us, doors open for us, we feel useful, and the work we do feels like play to us. And then it talks about luxury and what that means, which I feel like going into this chapter, did kind of have a different idea of what it was, and this chapter really helped me to slow down and appreciate littler moments of luxury, I guess. Like, luxury doesn't have to be a huge mansion with 1,000,000 rooms and all the cars in the world. Like, it can be something as simple as buying fresh raspberries, which for me, I feel like I discovered that's something that is a luxury to me and something I really enjoy. And sometimes it really is the little things that make us grateful about life and like give us a chance to sit back and kind of see the bigger picture. It says, all too often we become blocked and blame it on our lack of money. This is never an authentic block. The actual block is our feeling of constriction, our sense of powerlessness. Art requires us to empower ourselves with choice. At the most basic level, this means choosing to do self-care. Another thing I did this week was I got a National Geographic subscription. I've been subscribed to Vogue for the last year and a half. I still love Vogue. I think it's fun to look through, but it's more of like a picture book, and I've always loved and been fascinated by National Geographic, so I'm really excited to start diving into that. It kind of gives a story about this older gentleman who was a musician, and he said, "I try to play and I hear myself, and what I can do is so far away from what I want to do that I cringe." And then he kind of gave himself the luxury of buying a new sound recording each week and figuring out what sounded like fun to him. Started experimenting with a bunch of different genres. And then he says, "I thought my wife and daughter would be embarrassed by how bad I was. Actually, I was the one who was embarrassed. But now I'm just having fun with it and actually sounding a little better to myself." Period, Alan. Yes, King. It also says luxury is a learned practice. It really does take like slowing down and enjoying a small moment, even if it's 5 minutes of your day, putting on a record that you love, or making a yummy snack for yourself, or baking, or choosing to go for a walk outside. Like, there's so many little things you can do, and you can afford to give yourself that luxury. It says, what we are talking about when we discuss luxury is very often a shift in consciousness more than flow. Although, as we acknowledge and invite what feels luxurious to us, we may indeed trigger an increased flow. It says, creative living requires the luxury of time which we carve out for ourselves, even if it's 15 minutes for quick morning pages and a 10-minute mini bath after work. Creative living requires the luxury of space for ourselves, which I talked about a lot last week. Remember that a lot of the times your artist is your inner child, and children likes things that are theirs. So give yourself the luxury of ownership and having things that are completely, truly 100% yours. There's nothing selfish about that. One thing I really liked that it said that I feel like I talk about a lot and like live through in my own life, which is that creativity is a paradox. Serious art is born from serious play. So when you're creating a piece of work that means a lot to you and maybe it's like something heavy or deeper, you can still have fun with it. You can still experiment, try new things, make it unique to you while maintaining that level of emotion. It has you do a counting exercise, so just write down everything you spend for a week. I would like to do this. I did not honestly do it this week. And just kind of going off of that, like, I feel like when I have been doing these videos, it does seem like a lot of work every week, but it's up to you, like, how serious or not serious you want to take this. I think even just reading the book, journaling as much as you can, and doing one task, you will be better off than if you never tried any of it at all. So, like, give yourself grace. We're human, and trying is the most important thing here. I didn't do my counting exercise. I'm not even mad at myself for that because, honestly, I didn't really want to. And I'll do it when I feel like it. So, has you do a money madness exercise. I also don't want to read through this. Like I said, I'm a little like, I want to go to the gym and I want to do my whole workout and sweat a lot and sit in the sauna after I sweat and then sweat some more. And I think I'm going to feel so much better after I do that. Seriously, not to be dramatic, but like, I can't wait to be done with this video. Sorry. Anyway, the exercise, some of the things were like, money makes people blank. In my family, money caused blank. Money equals blank. When I have money, I usually blank. People think money blank. Being broke tells me blank. There was like a lot more, but that's just kind of an idea. And then the tasks for the week. I didn't do that many tasks this week. Just didn't have many that I wanted to do, and I tried to do like a couple that weren't interesting to me and just like kind of make myself do it anyway, because sometimes I feel like feeling a strong urge not to do something might be something that you need to do. So the first one was find 5 rocks. I honestly might do this in the future because rocks are fun. The next one was find 5 flowers, press them if you want to. It says if you did this in kindergarten, that's fine. Some of the best creative play is done there. Let yourself do it again. So true. I think that kind of goes back to your artist day of like, what did you enjoy doing when you were really young, and what kind of things have you stopped doing for years and years and years that maybe you could take up again? Doesn't matter if you're shitty at painting, like, no one cares. You're not selling that. Just paint if you want to paint, you know? And that goes for like everything, like knit, sew, make clothing, volunteer at the animal shelter. There's so many different things you could do. Throw out 5 pieces of ratty clothing. I am donating a bunch of clothes to the Women and Children's Shelter as a part of my community service project for the Miss Idaho pageant. So that's something I've been kind of like actively working on, is just, I obviously don't want to donate ratty clothes to them, but maybe just clothes that I don't wear as much that are still in good condition and could help someone. says another task was creation. So, like, bake something or cook something like a soup or a pie. This one I did was list your favorites in the following categories: cars, dogs, flowers, trees, fruits, vegetables, desserts, entrees, musical groups, and colors. I like that one. It's always good to get to know yourself and what you like, because knowing your preferences is how you relate to other people and find friends that are like you and yada yada. Any new flow in your life, practice saying yes to freebies. Got some free drinks at the bar. Does that count? Shout out to my friends for that. Any changes in your financial situation or your perspective on it. Any new, even crazy ideas about what you love doing. I think, like, I'm just getting clearer and clearer on what my situation is, how I can work on it, and how I can do what I love doing and still have stability and comfort and freedom and independence in my life. And, I feel like finding that balance can be difficult, and it's a learned process that takes time and consistency, but it is worth it. And I feel like I am slowly starting to see those changes, which is great. How many days this week did you do your morning pages? Now we're doing the check-in. Have you used them yet to think about creative luxury for yourself? How was the experience for you? I did my morning pages, I want to say, I don't feel like looking right now, but between 4 to 6 times. I know for a fact. I'm really trying to keep myself accountable and just be honest with these. So I probably did it 5 times, but I don't really know at the moment. Happy Monday. I can't think today. Did I do my artist date this week? I need to be better about the artist date. Like, I do intentionally want to get better about, like, doing something for myself every week. I went to Target. I don't know if that counts. But I did go by myself, so call it what you will. Did you experience any synchronicity this week? What was it? I've had like 2 or 3 different conversations where Jump Creek has come up, which is like a place in Idaho that's super duper pretty. And I haven't been there in a while, so maybe that's my sign to go back. I don't know. Were there any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? I think overall, just I need to work on my patience and taking things one step at a time and not getting ahead of myself, because my brain works a million miles an hour all the time, and there's always like a lot on my mind. And I feel like I just need to take a step back sometimes and be proud of myself for the progress that I have made. So that was week 7. Week 6, sorry. Now we're on to week 7, which is recovering a sense of connection. And I'm excited to read it. We're trucking along. As you know, I really enjoy this book. I'm doing it the second time around, and I feel like I'm picking up a lot more bits this time around. So, yeah, I'm excited to keep reading, and I will see you next week.